Hey guys, and welcome to All About Road. I have a very interesting thing lined up today for you guys in this video. So whenever I'm telling my own travel stories to somebody, I always mention a 17-year-old kid who I met in Manali, and he traveled across India without a valid license. I don't support it, but seriously. Yes, we have Nicolo with us today on a Skype call, and we are going to discuss his travel experiences across India and especially across the world, because he have been to 10 countries yet and he's just 17. Lots of interesting stories coming up, so stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and here is Nicolo with us, and we'll start with a very basic introduction so that we can get to know Nicolo. So, hey man, how are you doing?
Doing alright, a little tired,
okay.
but I'm good. My name is Nicolo from California.
Okay.
I lived in Nicaragua for 2 years. By traveling, that's when I really got into traveling, and since then I try and travel every year.
That's really great, man. And as much as I know you, you have a fascination to the motorcycles especially, and
Yes.
I would really like to discuss that, how that fascination started, and which motorcycle do you own back at your home, and how you got that motorcycle.
Started with my first, I used to only be a car fan, you know, I never really liked motorcycles.
Okay.
And then my first trip to Vietnam, my friend and I just decided to buy motorcycles and motorcycle from Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh City.
Mm-hmm.
We got the idea from Top Gear, and they're more like scooters, but by the end of that trip I had fallen in love with motorcycles. And so right when I got home I worked, saved up, and made sure I had one at home with me.
Okay, so which one do you have there?
It's a Ducati Scrambler 62.
That's really amazing. Okay, so guys, Nicolo here was in India around 2 months back, and we met in Manali. So, how did you decide to come to India, Nicolo?
It was just a place I've always wanted to go. I was supposed to go with my friend when I went to Vietnam with, but he wasn't able to go.
Okay.
And it's kind of always been on my list. Although the Wes Anderson film Darjeeling Limited was a big inspiration. I love that film, and it was about 3 brothers taking a train ride through India, and that kind of sparked the flame, I guess.
Okay, so you got inspired by a movie. That's really interesting. Okay, so when you came to India, did you have any specific locations in your mind that you have to cover, or you just went with the flow?
Well, I had a return trip in Bangalore a month later, so I thought I can go anywhere I'd like as long as I get to Bangalore within a month.
Okay.
And I had no exact plan.
Okay.
It was just people giving me guidance where I went, just like you in Manali told me to go up to Ladakh.
Yeah, and like you came to Delhi first from California, and what was the first thing that you did over here in Delhi?
I arrived at 1 a.m. very disoriented, but after I slept the next morning I woke up and bought a motorcycle. Right,
next day you bought a motorcycle.
Yes.
Okay, how did that went through? Because as much as I know you, you were 17 at that time, and it's really hard to get a motorcycle over here when you're 17 and you don't even have a proper driver's permit. And note for you, all you guys, he didn't even had a US license, like not a driver's permit in United States. He had a piece of paper which said that not a valid license.
I went to a few family-run shops and tried convincing them, and I guess one family liked my story and just said, we gotta help this kid get a motorcycle. Of course they didn't really want anything to do with me after, because they didn't want to get in trouble, which I completely understood. But
okay, so they saved their asses first.
Yeah.
Okay, so you from where you buy the motorcycle? I guess Karol Bagh, right?
Yes, Karol Bagh.
Okay, so a note for all you guys who are not native from Delhi, Karol Bagh is one of the largest automobile market in Asia. So if you ever come to Delhi, just try to visit there once. It's really beautiful. Okay, so another very interesting part that I liked about you and your motorcycle, the so-called love between you two, was you named her Molly, and that was quite interesting for me, and quite fascinated about that name. So how did that went through? Why did you name it Molly?
I have a very close friend back home who showed me the song "Molly's Lips" by Nirvana, and
Okay, okay,
we both love that song. It's very iconic.
okay.
And in the song, the main line is, "She said she'll take me anywhere,"
Okay.
and I guess, and it's called Molly's Lips, and so Molly said she'll take me anywhere. I named the motorcycle Molly.
So she actually took you everywhere. Okay, so as much as I can remember, when you came to Manali, your bike was having some problems, and especially there was a problem with your headlamp. Because the headlamp wasn't working initially.
Right before I met you in Manali, there's a large tunnel, longest tunnel I've ever been through,
Okay.
between Shimla and Manali.
Yeah.
And my bike actually broke down in the middle of the tunnel.
Okay.
And I never actually had a headlight to begin. It never worked to begin with, so pretty dark in that tunnel. The lights weren't working very well on the ceiling of the tunnel.
Okay.
2 lanes, so I was just kind of on the side of the road as massive semis were passing me, probably not seeing me.
Okay, so how did you fix that?
I put my phone in my mouth and turned the flashlight on and just started hitting things and pushing wires together and stuff until the bike started back up. But it was 10 minutes in darkness.
Okay, so now that it's time for the best story, as I know, and I always tell this story to each and every traveler that I meet. I'm telling the truth, believe me. I'm making you famous in India.
Great.
So what happened at Rohtang Pass exactly?
Okay. We met in Manali, and you convinced me to go up to Ladakh, and I had fallen in love with the idea. I knew, yes, I need to get up there.
Yeah.
So along with your help, I obtained papers, air pollution, permit to get.
Yeah.
But then you warned me you must be 18 to have a motorcycle here.
Obviously.
So, being very determined, I decided to forge the documents, my California permit, which is not a license. So I took a pen, I changed the birth date, changed a few other things to make it look like I was 18, said goodbye to you, and I headed up. All went pretty smooth. There were maybe 2 or 3 checkpoints that I went through, and they would just look at the documents, not read it, and I passed through smoothly.
Okay.
Then descending Rohtang Pass, there was another checkpoint, another tiny little town. I'm not sure.
I think the name is Kelong, like somewhere near Kelong, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
There's a much stricter checkpoint there.
Yeah, exactly.
And I got a little nervous. There were no riders behind me, so I was entering solo.
Okay.
Immediately, they pulled me aside, made me park my bike, and told me to enter a little checkpoint office.
Okay.
And then there were 2 guys, uniforms, looking very official, and they gave them my documents, not my passport. I told them I did not have it with me because that says I'm 17. They looked a little doubtful, so they brought 2 more guys in. These guys are armed. So now there's 4 uniformed men in an office with me shouting at each other, and I'm guessing Hindi. I had no idea what they were saying, but I knew it was not good. So I just acted, oh, those are the wrong documents, let me grab the other ones from my bike.
Okay.
So I took the documents from them, jumped on Molly, she started up nice and quick, and we drove out of there. And of course, Molly was, she has a very loud exhaust.
Oh, obviously, that was a Royal Enfield bullet.
Immediately, not only the 4 guards in the office, but the others around started shouting and pointing. And eventually, a few ran towards, not a Jeep, I don't know what those vehicles are called. They're larger.
Like small trucks.
Yes, yeah. They jumped in those and took off after me.
Okay.
But as you would know, you've been on the same route. Motorcycles can go much quicker.
But there's a lot of slush over there, a lot of mud on the roads, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, while coming down from Rohtang Pass.
Yes, yeah. So I was able to, in 30 minutes I couldn't see them behind me, although I had a feeling they were still following me.
Okay.
And as I continued to ascend up to Rohtang Pass, I noticed a massive fog or cloud coming in.
Okay.
And that's what really worried me. Not only did I have danger from behind, but I was going straight into clouds.
Yeah, on that kind of road.
Yeah, but I knew I had to keep moving, so eventually I made it up to Rohtang Pass.
Okay.
Now I'm immersed in this massive cloud, and I tried to descend but I cannot see anything, and I didn't have a fog light. I had a headlight, but not a fog light. So I drove back up to the top of Rotong. It's really, really damn cold. What would you say the temperatures get down up there?
I think 1 or 2 degrees Celsius, and in fact
Yeah,
sometimes
so
even low.
freezing.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that, and I kind of just waited it out. I knew they wouldn't ascend because why would they try and come up into this massive cloud covering?
Yeah.
You know, so I made it from that danger, but now I was in the freezing cold and dark. And
Okay.
eventually I saw a car descending back to Manali same way as me, and so I asked if I could follow him because he did have a fog
Okay.
light. Made it back down to you.
So I met Nicolo the same day at around 9:30 in the night, and I thought he was gone, and now he have not reached back, like came back until now. So I thought he passed Kelong and everything was going good, because you don't get phone signals over there, so I cannot contact with him. And
Yeah.
I was going out for dinner, and I suddenly saw him coming back from the front, and I was like, "Fuck, you're back."
Yeah, I remember that. No.
Yeah. So another interesting part of his travel was he was only carrying a single shoulder bag. Like, we as Indians have a tendency to overpack everything. Now, if you do remember, I had like 2 huge bags with one shoulder bag and with a huge tank bag. So I was
Yeah.
overpacking all the time. I'm doing that. I know that. That's my mistake. But how did you survive 1 month trip with just a shoulder bag and one pair of clothes? That's really incredible.
Thank you. Well, I don't know. I think I find it more efficient just to have lighter bags. That way, you're always can be on the go, up and quick. Also, took inspiration from maybe too many movies. You know,
Okay.
Steve McQueen. You know, cowboy movies. You always see them the same cowboy attire.
Okay. Yeah, I've always seen them like there was a handkerchief, I guess, on your neck
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, that was. I
Yeah.
wore that.
And that was really good, actually. So when you left from Manali, like the next day I left for Ladakh, and you left back to Dharamshala, I guess, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Dharamshala,
So what was your itinerary back to Bangalore?
Delhi, Shimla, Manali.
Okay.
Keelong and back, then
Yeah.
Dharamshala.
I guess that was the
Amritsar.
most fun part. Along and back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dharamshala, Amritsar, Bikaner,
Okay.
Jodhpur,
Okay.
Udaipur,
Mm-hmm.
Vadodara,
Yeah.
Mumbai, Pune, Goa, Bangalore.
All
And
right.
I was supposed to go to Hampi or
Okay.
even Kerala, but I got quite sick in Pune.
Okay, so when you came to Manali, you got your bike fixed, and what next? Like, what happened after that? Like, did you get any other breakdowns throughout your trip and that kind of experiences?
I had a few smaller breakdowns that were not very important, except on the last day.
Okay.
From Goa to Bangalore. I don't know exactly how long it is. I think it was maybe 600 kilometers. It was kind of in the middle of nowhere, you know, there was not much around, and it was a
Yeah.
very open highway.
Yeah.
And the bike broke down.
Okay.
So it's 300 kilometers from Bangalore. And I kind of got to know the bike along the journey, so I knew what the problem was, and so I just took floss and toothpaste out of my bag. The only items I found might prove useful, and I was able to get it running. You know, there's a problem with the fuel valve. There's also a problem with the wires connecting to the battery.
Okay.
So I just kind of tied things up with floss and used the toothpaste as an adhesive.
Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this guy. This guy is actually a true motorcyclist. Now, like the way you improvised over there, that using floss and toothpaste was really incredible. Because if I would have been there, what I would have been doing is like I would just push the bike through so that I can find some mechanic, and I might freak out, I might not, but that was really incredible. You know, finding a solution with toothpaste and floss. So nothing is impossible, guys. Did you had any other encounter with cops other than the Kelong one?
Yeah, I did have one, not just run-ups, you know, one when I was going to Pune from Mumbai. I entered the non-motorcycle highway by accident.
Okay.
A cop tried to stop me, tried to be very firm, but I just kind of waved him off, went by him, and took the exit.
Okay, so they didn't follow you, right?
Yeah, he wasn't in our Kashmir, you know, army, so I wasn't worried about him.
You sold Molly. How did that went through? Was it hard for you?
Yeah, okay. On my way up the Rotong Pass, I met some riders who were trying to fix a GoPro.
Okay.
Made friends with them and kept contact because he was living in Bangalore and he was interested in my bike.
Okay.
Yeah, I eventually lost him on the road. They stopped frequently to take photos.
Okay.
But I messaged him when I was in Bangalore. We met up, negotiated, and made a deal. And it was very difficult to sell her. I did not want to let her go.
Okay.
And I'm keeping in contact with him because.
Okay, so you sold your bike to the same guy you met in Rotang Pass.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's really good, right? Because I thought you will be selling it to some broker in Bangalore and he'll be reselling it again. So that's really incredible that you found a rider for her and now she's in good hands.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm keeping in contact with him, and I told him 1 or 2 years I'll be back to bring Molly home.
That's really a good thing. You see, this is the love between a rider and his ride. Let's talk about money, okay? Like how much this complete ride, like let's leave the airfare aside, and what was the total budget of the ride, and what was your expectation that this ride will go on, like how much it will take, and what was the actual amount that you put in?
I knew the motorcycle would be expensive, and even when I was planning the trip, I was ready to put all of my money towards the motorcycle and have almost nothing for myself just because I knew I needed the bike.
Okay.
I paid about $1,200 for the motorcycle, which is how many rupees?
I guess that's 85,000 rupees in India.
Okay.
But that's a decent price for Royal Enfield Bullet.
Yeah. And then I tried to spend, you know, maybe $1,600 to $1,800, $1,500 to $1,800 in total.
Okay.
And I managed to save within that budget, and I also sold the bike at the end, so I made money after. So it's nice to finish a trip having money, you know.
So how much did you sold in?
I sold the bike for about $750 US.
That's really good, actually. Like this was one of the most important questions, that why you actually bought a bike rather than renting it. Because most of the people who come to visit India, or in fact even I personally go somewhere, I prefer renting a bike because I never think about actually buying one in that separate country. If you have rented a bike over here in India, it would be really expensive, because for a Royal Enfield Bullet it would be around 2,000 rupees per day, and that would be 60,000 rupees per month. So that would be really expensive for you.
And it's nice to have complete possession of the vehicle. You know, you make a stronger bond when you know it's yours rather than someone's that you're borrowing.
Yeah, and you get to name her too.
You get to name her, exactly.
Let's come to some final and some conclusive questions. One thing that you liked in India the most, what would that be?
I would have to say the diversity in India.
Okay.
Because I just felt there's so many cultures. You know, you can go 100 kilometers from Delhi, 100 kilometers from wherever, and you're in a new area with new geographical landscape, new language, new religion, new food. It's just, I've never experienced anything like that. And the way it all works, you know, there's not much conflict, you know, and between those different groups, and I think that's incredible.
Well, every country has their own problems, and I think we do have these conflicts growing up in our society recently. But it's really nice that somebody from outside comes to India and say that we have a lot of diversity, because we actually do, and that's the one of the best thing in our democracy that we're trying to hold together. What is the one thing that you think we should improve upon?
Well, as an individual, I think hospitality is incredible. I have no remarks individually.
Okay.
Perhaps this goes globally as a society. I think we need to work. There's a lot of pollution and a lot of garbage in India, but that's everywhere. So I think as a society, we all need to improve on that.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. So, ladies and gentlemen, this guy has been to 10 countries yet, and that is France, Germany, USA, Italy, Cayman Islands, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Vietnam, India, and England. Like, this list is absolutely incredible. I think I don't even imagine going to these places in my lifetime, and you are 18 and you already have been to these places. That's really great. So, what are your future plans for traveling?
Right now it's narrowed down between, of course, a motorcycle trip.
Okay.
Across either China, North Africa, or Chile. I'm having difficulty deciding and trying to prepare a budget for each, but definitely one of those in the meantime.
Yeah, so that was really incredible talking to you, Nicolo, and believe me, like, I'm so thankful for you to be here. And guys, if you have any questions for Nicolo, that how he travels, how he saves up the money to travel so much, and about Molly, maybe you want to get to know her, who bought it and stuff, so you can just ask these questions in the comment section down below, and I sincerely hope Nicolo will answer your questions. And if you haven't seen my Ladakh vlogs, I am stupid enough not to include Nicolo in my Ladakh vlogs. I was there with him and I could have done this interview face to face, but I'm stupid. Anyway, so if you haven't watched my Ladakh vlogs, there's the link in the I button up there and also in the description down below. So I hope you like this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And until then, just remember, it's all about the road.